Last port in Denmark.
Well, maybe we're going to
Okay, maybe
Sminde
not.
though.
Okay.
Yeah, depending on the weather.
Second to last.
Yeah. Depending on the weather. So welcome back, guys. Today we're leaving Limfjorden. It's a bit rainy and no wind so far. Limfjorden has been a very nice stay, a long stay though, almost a week here in Limfjorden. It's a nice little cozy town, good facilities, good grocery stores.
This is it! The exit of Limfjorden, right behind me. And behind that port it's the North Sea and our cue to head south. Yeah, the swell has starting to build up, and hopefully there's a bit more wind once we pass the corner here. But we'll see. We just had dolphins jumping around the boat. So cool. Our first dolphins just minutes out from Limfjorden and into the North Sea. And yeah, feels like they welcomed us. How are you feeling?
I feel a bit seasick. I think I have to. I just have to get used to this.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, the sea is a bit choppy, if that's a word. I think there's a lot of old sea from the past week's hard winds. But yeah, we're rolling along nicely in 5 knots. So it's pretty good, I think. Just check the latest weather forecast to determine where we will go today, and we had 2 options going out of Limfjorden. The first one was to go straight to Helgoland with an overnight sail, and the second one was to make a stop in a marina along the coast here and wait for more wind. And it looks like we will have to go for option 2, since there will be a huge area with no wind that will cover the entire route from this afternoon to tomorrow morning. So instead of just bobbing around the whole night, we will make a stop. The first marina is 15 nautical miles from here, and then we'll continue tomorrow and make an overnight sail then instead. This is Sminde. We arrived and we'll stay here for the night and continue our journey tomorrow.
This is definitely only a fishing marina, fishing harbor, since we are the only sailboat or leisure boat in the whole marina. So there's fishing boats, we, and some birds.
Heading up the west coast in the morning to find a place where no one knows our faces or our names. If we don't live now we lie, then we'll make it out alive. Life changing me, changing all the time.
Så jävla.
Wake up to the sounds of all around. And as the sun comes up, the road will show us where we need to go. Always waiting, so frustrating, let's just drive. So come away with me. Let's break free. Just you and me.
Our first sunset at sea. It's really beautiful. The water is pretty calm, but so is the wind. We have 2 to 3 knots of wind and had for the last 2 hours. So we're motor for a while, and hopefully the wind forecast is correct and the wind will pick up here again in the next hour. But yeah, that's it. It's time for me to wake up Marcus. He has slept for the last 2 hours, and now it's my turn to sleep for 4. And then Marcus will sleep for 4, and I can sleep again 2 hours tomorrow morning. Good night. So, good morning or good night. I don't really know. It's 2 a.m. I'm just back from my sleep or sleep. It was a very eventful 4 hours. Around midnight there was a thud, and then the motor sound changed. And yeah, for a second there we thought we lost one of the props, but after going back and forth a bit, the shakiness of the engine disappeared. So most likely there was something in the water that got partly stuck that we later just lost, and now the motor's been running fine for the last 2 hours. So yeah, hopefully nothing permanent. Once the sun gets up and we can see, we will most likely drop down the GoPro to see if there's something we can see, but there's nothing in the engine room and no strange sounds anymore, so probably good. It's totally dark, or almost. There's actually some light starting to some light behind me. It was quite impossible to sleep with all the engine sounds, and since there's no wind, there's a very unnatural motion of the boat, and it was also very cold. And of course I I didn't have the energy to go up and start the heater. So yeah, not much sleep, but I feel ready to take a 4-hour watch, and hopefully Marcus will sleep a bit better. And yeah, we're up to two knots of wind now, so it's getting better. I must say I'm really tired of all these forecasts that's been totally wrong for almost all of May, but it's the 1st of June today, so maybe June will bring some more stable weather, a bit more predictable weather, and yeah, the forecast said 6 to 10 knots of wind the entire night, but we had 0 for the last 6 hours. So yeah. Still no wind, but the sun is getting up. It's one of those golden sunrises, and actually it looks like the wind is picking up as well. Finally. We have some wind again and are currently actually doing pretty well speed with some help with the current, and yeah, it feels so nice and quiet after 12 hours of motoring, which is not our favorite at all. Crazy that we have sailed for 30 hours and then we arrived to an island that looks like a giant red rock that had just popped out from the ocean. So cool.
During the Second World War, the Germans used this island as a naval base for submarines, and therefore there was a lot of bombing on the island. And after the war, the only building standing, despite from the bunkers and all the tunnels inside this island, the lighthouse was the only building still standing. So all the other buildings on this island are rebuilt since then. On the eastern and the north part of the island, there's a big nature reserve, and far out on the sea, on the west side and the east side, there's also a big reserve that you cannot pass. So this is a place where a lot of birds mate.
Morning guys, we are getting ready to leave Helgoland. There's only one issue. We are 7 boats stacked outside each other. We are third, and so we synced with our neighbor that they were going to go 6 in the morning. So we decided we'd go 6 in the morning too, so we could both go at the same time. But it's 1 minute before 6 and there's no activity. The marina is pretty full. There's a competition going on, so there are really many boats and they stack all of them outside each other.
We have now left Helgoland, very crowded Helgoland. The Skagen race is soon to be started, and the harbor is really full. But it went well to leave the dock anyway, although there was a lot of activity when boats are leaving when it's so crowded. Now we're heading for Borkum, and with that we will end this episode. And
if you liked sailing with us this week, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you won't miss the next leg in this adventure, where we will go the standing mast route in the Netherlands. See you then.
bye guys.
If you liked this video, consider giving it a thumbs up and maybe help us out by sharing it to someone who you think need a little more sailing joy in their life. If you'd like to support the future development of these videos even more, please check out the link in description on how to join our Patreon crew. By joining, you help us take our video creation to the next level. We love to share our journey with you and hope to see you again next week. Until then, fair winds everyone.